Hey, we're back with another video sponsored by Camping World, and this time we're going to be talking all about what is boondocking and how to do it. I'm sure you've seen the awesome shots that maybe we've had or another RVer out there has had of them in the middle of the mountains with no one around for miles, just this epic gorgeous sight, and you're like, I want to do that. So we're here to share with you how you can do that. Also to share that Camping World has a lot of the products that you need to purchase in order to go out and boondock and just make it an even more enjoyable time. So we'll get into that as well. So what we're gonna cover is power, water, and sewer. So you can go out with your family and enjoy an awesome time boondocking. All right, so what is boondocking? Boondocking is when you go out and you stay completely self-contained in your rig. So that means you have no power. Well, you have power, but we'll explain how. No pedestal to plug into. You also have no water supply outside of what you brought with you, and you don't have anywhere to dump your sewer. So that's what is considered boondocking, self-contained camping, whatever you may want to call it. We always reference it as boondocking, and that's what we hear out on the streets as well. So let's get into now how you can go about boondocking, how you get power, how you get water, and how you dump your tanks. Let's do this. All right, so Craig's here to talk about the solar because I don't really know what the heck's going on. I'm just happy when the power works and we're out boondocking and I can work, I can watch TV, I can do all the stuff I want to do. So I'm going to turn it over to him to give you all those details.
All right, so yes, like Brianna said, I am going to help you understand what solar is all about to power your rig while you're boondocking. So there's a few aspects to it. There's solar panels, which are up on your roof. There's the batteries that you have to store the solar energy that you're consuming by the sun, as well as a inverter in your RV to make sure that you can use that power that's stored in your batteries. So we have a big system set up, so let's go check out what each component is and how it works. All right, so we are up on the roof to check out our solar panels. As you can see, we have 4 of them here, 3 here and 1 up in the front. These are 300 watt panels, so they're pretty big. You can get them in all sorts of sizes and wattages. So check Camping World for those. They have them on the website. And basically, these get all the glory when it comes to solar. How many panels you have on your roof? Well, that's only a part of the equation. So these are what is actually going to absorb the energy from the sun. And you can see the wires that run up into the middle of the RV. Those go down to a solar charge controller, which is actually going to feed our batteries the power that they absorb. So we'll go check that one out next. Okay, next part is the solar charge controllers as well as our batteries. So we have 2 charge controllers here, and the reason we have 2 is because we have 1200 watts of solar on our roof, and we have to have 2 of them to control all that wattage. So basically what these are going to do is it's going to take in the charge from those panels on the roof and then feed our batteries as much as they need it. And then once they get fully topped off, the chargers will cut back the charge that it lets through and everything will be all good. So we have Victron components here for the charge controllers. And then we also have 2 Battleborn GC3 batteries, which are really cool. These are the lithium batteries, which I'm sure you've all heard about. They're all the rage these days and they work out really good. You can charge them really quickly. You can use 100% of the power, unlike lead acid batteries, and they're much lighter than carrying around a lot of lead acid batteries. Okay, the final piece to the solar puzzle is the inverter. So we have a way to charge our batteries. We have a really good battery setup, but now how do we use that 12 volt power that is stored in the batteries for all of our appliances inside? So how do you use it to actually have the plugs work? That's where an inverter comes in. It inverts the 12 volt charge into 120 volts so you can run anything just like at your house. We have a Victron Multi Plus here, which is awesome. It's a 3000 watt inverter and it is wired to every single thing in our RV so we can use all the outlets, the microwave, and even an air conditioner. We've had this system installed by Future Solutions. I'd recommend having a professional do it because it gets pretty complicated and you want to make sure you know what you're doing when it's being installed. Camping World also does installations, so check them out as well. All right, so a quick recap of our solar setup that allows us to boondock for weeks at a time. Up on the roof, we have 1200 watts of solar panels. Then we have 2 Victron solar charge controllers. We have 2 Battleborn GC3 lithium batteries, which are 255 amp hours each for a total of 510 amp hours. And then we have the Victron Multi-Plus 3000 inverter charger that powers our entire rig. There's also a whole bunch of circuitry, switches, and fuses in there that was installed by Future Solutions because they know what they're doing. I really don't when it gets to that point. It gets very complex. So you want to be sure that you do it safely, and they did that with all the circuitry and the fuses that were put in. All right, also check down below. I'll put links to all the stuff that we have on our rig down there so you can check it out for your own rig as well. Let's go to our favorite boondocking spot out in Idaho to check out how we get water.
So we have a 60-gallon tank on board in the Montana, which is really nice. We'll typically go through that in about 3 days. Usually when we're boondocking, we may buy some more paper products like paper plates and, you know, plastic spoons and like forks and stuff, just because we are not really able to use as much water as we would if we're fully hooked up at a campground. But we do run out every once in a while. So we have, for a long time, we just use this 5-gallon jug. And basically what this is, just a thing that you can fill up at any kind of like normal water station or whatever, and then dump it into our fresh water tank. But recently we have upgraded to a water bladder. Now this thing is amazing. It's 60 gallons, so it fits our setup really nicely. It's basically a big pillow that you fill up with water. It folds down into like a nice little pouch. So it's very small when we're not using it. I'll take the truck, I'll put it in the back of the truck. I'll go drive to a dump station or somewhere that has, you know, a free water fill up station, and I'll put a hose directly into the bladder, hook it up to the faucet wherever I'm at, let that fill up, and then when I get back to the RV, I also bought a little pump, and I hooked that little pump up to the bladder, and the other end goes here to our freshwater fill spot. I plug in the pump to an outlet and transfer the water from the bladder into our freshwater tank here. So it's super convenient. It fills us up like almost 100%, which is awesome. And it's an easy way to get a lot of water into our RV rather than having to make a lot of trips with that 5-gallon jug. All right, so we're able to get fresh water in to our RV, but what the heck do we do with the sewer water that we want to take out of the RV? Well, we recently bought this Camco sewer tote, I guess it's called. It's a 36-gallon portable sewer tank, basically. And you can find these on Amazon or at a Camping World. Basically what you do is it comes with all the fittings and connections to connect your sewer outlet, which is up there, into this inlet here. And you just dump your sewer, it could be black or gray, into the jug. And then you kind of watch it to see when it gets filled up, and then you stop, you know, to make sure you don't have any overflow or make a big mess. So there's a little bit of a learning curve, so I suggest practicing with gray water because it's more pleasant to spill on your hands than black. Then what you do is, if you're at a campground or you're close to a dump station, there is a connection to this handle that you can attach to your a hitch, like a ball hitch on the back of your truck or back of your vehicle. Take it down to a dump station, and then on the other side of the sewer tank, you can see that's a very familiar handle, the T handle there. You connect your hose to that end, and the other end of the hose to the sewer inlet at the dump station, and then let her rip. So that is how we get rid of our sewer water when we are not hooked up to full hookups at a campground.
All right, there you have it. Power, water, and dumping your tanks while you're boondocking. Whenever we're boondocking, we love it. We can't wait to get back out there. Actually, let me rephrase that. You go boondocking, you love it, and then you start to miss those full hookups.
Showers are nice.
Showers are nice. Full power is nice. You miss it, you go back, you hook up somewhere for a night or two, and you're like, wait a second. No, I missed the boondocking. Let's head back out. So, that is the basics of what boondocking is and what you need to have set up in order to get yourself out boondocking. Make sure to check the description below, as we will have a link to our blog post on boondocking to help you out as well. Catch you later.